What it do, guys? It is your boy, Leo Mookie, back with you on another new part of What If Izuku Can Summon Vision Heroes. This is part 3. In the last part, Izuku just, awakened the power of the Ring of Leonis. The ring that allows the user to summon visions of allies, foes, and any other deity from other worlds, mainly from the worlds of the realm of Lapis. After summoning 5 current, being that of Mont, Stern, Odoa, Zhang, and Yorma as well. As Mont and Stern try their best to help out Izuku in what they've learned as that of princes and warriors. However, Izuku's not a bad student, it's just that the two are not that good at teaching, to be honest. Hopefully, that Izuku was able to summon those who would be capable of teaching him how to be a proper warrior, or rather, a proper hero. Where he soon summoned that of 5 others who were capable of able to teach him the classes of their world, such as their mother, Queen Helena, the captain of the Sottily Squad of Horn, Igbert, Ohm, the vice commander of Stern's Fortune Squad, the Wandering Mercenary Dragoon, Victoria, and the Mark Fighter, Garvel as well, as these 5 would help Izuku grow stronger and reach his potential as the hero he was meant to be. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Months have now passed. Months since Izuku has now summoned 5 others to help him to go stronger. He doesn't want to fully always rely on his visions to help him out in battle. But now with that of Helena and the others to help him improve, maybe, just maybe, he may have the ability to become something greater. However, little did Izuku know the training regimen that they put them on, mainly that of Helena, Ilbert, and Garvel, actually. Veltora, on the other hand, was surprisingly, given her seductive and somewhat threatening, personality, you would think that she would be just as strict. However, not really, to be honest. She's actually quite patient with Izuku, as she's aware on how difficult it is to be a dragoon. Owen is kind of aware of Izuku's body's type and realized that the boy doesn't have that much of muscle or even that of body density, to be honest. So he's mainly taking it slow to build up Izuku's muscles before starting off strong. However, for Helena, on the other hand, she basically wants Izuku to learn any form of magic capable. Same thing also goes for Garvel, being that of an invoker class after all, and being mainly a close quarters, hand-to-hand, but also magical class. Their training styles are kind of pretty similar, but still pretty drastic at the exact same time. For Helena, she wants Izuku to basically learn how to develop to understand magic and its fundamentals of the world. Even though the world that they currently are people do not use magic, there's still plenty of mana in the air. If anything, the mana is basically untapped, unused, to be honest. If Izuku is able to understand this, he'll be the very first person in the current world if they are to be a magic user. Most likely one of the many mage classes, to be fair. Garvel basically putting Izuku through the exact same training style that he went through. Basically, trial by combat. Constantly beating Izuku on a daily basis and wondering when he's going to be able to stand up and fight back properly, and be able to use his magic. However, it seems that each attempt has failed once and once again. Ilbert's training is, pretty brutal as well. It's mainly weight training and being able to withstand quite a bit of pressure under as well. However, even so, Izuku is able to handle himself quite a bit. Even for somebody of his scrawniness, thanks to Owain's basically basic weight training and muscle gain training, that they are able to handle himself pretty easily. but it's still pretty brutal for somebody of his age, after all. And every time he comes back home, his mother, always feeling worried and somewhat scared, wondering on what is happening to her baby boy, after all. However, at school, on the other hand, when everybody sees Izuku quite bruised up, beaten, and quite bandaged, some believe that Bakugo did it, which caused quite a bit of a stir, which Bakugo had to defend himself, mainly screaming, saying that he hasn't touched Izuku since he awakened his so-called quirk, after all. And because of that, it's caused quite a bit of a stir. Some believe that Izuku is constantly being bullied outside of the school. However, some can't believe that, given that he has now a powerful ass quirk, after all. So there's no way that somebody like him would basically get beaten, which also takes away the spotlight from Bakugo, arguing once again, screaming that he's going to be the best. But we all know that it's nothing but him trying to settle his own fragile ego, after all. As the training sessions with each 5 of them goes on day in and day out. Some of the training basically is quite useful, with Izuku improving in many different fighting styles, with that of being able to use that of a spear, not on the same level as that of a dragoon, but still capable, being able to fight hand-to-hand combat from Garvel, but still is not capable of using magic, unlike Helena thought, which she still believes that he has the potential of using magic, being more capable of using a sword, mainly that of a katana, mainly thanks to that of Owen and that of Igbird, after all, even mainly because Igbird's shield also acts as that of a scabbard as well, given that Igbird's scabbard also acts as that of a sheath for his sword. So, even though he's a paladin, he fights close to that of a samurai class. So to be honest, Izuku is basically learning one fighting style, one class style to another, with a few of the visions actually can't help but be glad that Izuku is doing well for himself. However, every time when he comes back home, he's constantly exhausted, sore as hell, until Mont and the others basically have to heal him, with Mont going over to Izuku, saying, still rough day, it seems. With Izuku saying, I think I'm getting a lot hang of it. I don't feel as, badly sore as I did before. With Stern soon appearing from crystals as well, as saying, I do not envy you, Izuku, not one bit. With then Izuku looking at the tall black-haired royal twin, with then Mont looking back at his younger twin brother, saying, Stern, saying, I do not envy him because he got himself into this situation. Even though we may have, given him the idea of summoning somebody strong, however, the wielder should be the one to choose on who they summon, not the other way around. But saying, can you blame me? I don't even know anybody. Not only that, the grimoire that's basically tied to the Ring of Leonis, every time when I look through the pages, there's nothing. There's basically over hundreds upon hundreds of pages, all of them mainly blank, except when I summon, that's when they begin to appear. I don't know on who is who. With then soon, Helena soon comes out of the ring as well, appearing in crystals, saying that's because you know nothing of our history, and that's absolutely understandable. With then soon, both Mont and Stern basically freak out, hearing their mother, as again, she's still in her being the Black Rose Witch attire, as putting the two on edge right now. With then soon Mont saying, hello there, mother. With then soon Helena saying, please be at ease, my sons. I'm not here to criticize your training methods this time. With then soon Stern internally thinking, thank you. With Mont taking that of a heavy sigh of relief. Within looking at her sons, she's still having that of a motherly smile of humor, seeing her sons act like this in front of her true self after all. With then looking currently at the wielder of her kingdom's most prized treasure, with Izuku feeling kind of nervous, looking at the gaze of her eyes, saying, "Izuku, I've seen how much you improve physically, but you still haven't improved being able to use that of magic yet. You still, like I told you, you have the potential, and yet you still do not understand." But then Izuku saying, "I mean, can you blame me? To many people, magic doesn't exist, especially in especially in our world. To us, science, logic, and reasoning make sense. To be fair, most people believe that when quirks first arrived, a lot of people believed that people who were using them were basically, well, either using magic or possessed. Religious figures basically went on a tirade on that when quirks first appeared. It was only soon found out after that that human genetics began to change and alter. But now knowing that in another world magic does exist and is real, it's just hard to fundamentally grasp." With then soon Helena saying, "I see. If that's the case, then," within soon seeing one of Izuku's basically one of his spare notebooks that he used for hero analysis, she soon grabs it and then soon begins to write in that of a perfect circle, within putting that of certain symbols, lines, and shapes as well. Within, Izuku began to notice the circle as it being that of a spell circle for that of a fire spell. However, for Izuku though, it almost seems close to that of chemistry and that of geometry and algebra as well. With Izuku grabbing the book saying, this is trigonometry and chemistry mixed in with algebra? How is this?" Saying, "That is your typical fire spell. The ingredients on the spell circle alone. I think when you say that this world relies more on science and logic, do not get us wrong. Science exists in our world as well, but it's mainly known as alchemy. The field is led by that of alchemists. So if this is the only way that you're able to understand it, then you need to figure this out by another way besides just the normal way you have been doing. Not only that, to build up your magic reserves as well, you need to summon more visions." Within Izuku's eyes widening, shocked, saying, I need to summon more? But every time when I do, it always basically exhausts me. I mean, not physically, but mostly mentally." Within Helena saying, "It's the only way for you to truly improve, Izuku. Like I said, I want to see if you are worthy of my kingdom's ring. My husband and his father before him have worked so hard to build a nation using that ring alone. And seeing it in the hands of just a boy who knows nothing of the history behind the ring, it makes me feel somewhat annoyed, angered, and saddened as well. That's why I want to know if you are truly worthy of this ring." But within, soon looking at her son saying, "You two, you've been the closest to Izuku for at least that of a few months now, have you not?" Within, soon both boys saying, "Yes, mother." With saying, "Then, tell me of Izuku Midoriya's character. If he truly is worthy, then I will continue to train him. If he's not," with then soon Mont and Stern basically saying, "He truly is." Within, Izuku was caught off guard by both of them, with Mont speaking saying, "Mother, I've seen his character. If anything, he's basically the spitting image of who I was during my younger years. I know it. For example, he hates violence. If he can basically calm people down by his words alone, then he would do it. He only uses that of violence and having to fight as that of a second last resort. That is who Izuku Midoriya is." Within, soon, Stern saying he's determined, driven. He has the drive to want to become a hero more than anything. All he lacks is that of confidence in himself, confidence in what he's capable of. That's why we've been trying the best to motivate him, telling him that he is capable. He is worthy of our family ring because he truly is. That's why we truly believe he is worthy of the ring that has been passed down by our forefathers, even to Mont. With that, soon, Helena couldn't help but listen to the words of her sons, close her eyes for a bit, saying, okay then. Within soon, getting that of the book from Izuku once again, writing down another spell circle, and then another, and another, and another. Within soon, she's saying, Izuku, I will not train you on how to use that of magic for a while now. For the time being, study on how to use this. I will also tell the same to Garvel as well. However, I know he will basically continue training you in hand-to-hand combat though, so be prepared. With then soon, Izuku hearing this from Helena saying, yes, I will, Miss Helena. With then saying, you do not need to call me Miss. I am just a mere vision of my former self. Simple as that. I serve you and you alone. With then soon reverting back into a crystal before shattering back into the ring. Within soon, Mont and Stern looking like that of fully relieved that their mother is gone. Within Mont actually surprised, going to his knees, saying, every time when we see that version of our mother, her true self, it really terrifies me. Within Stern, who's normally the more, reserved and also a lot more put together, unless when his anger comes out, saying, I have to agree with you on that one, brother. 100% agree. With Izuku, personally couldn't help but laugh at the situation, seeing the two people that not only gave him determination to move on, but also is somewhat like that of older brother figures, basically feeling exhausted from just being around their mother. A few weeks later, Izuku began to study up on that of his algebra, his trigonometry, and his chemistry as well. Doing so also improved his grades in those classes too, even surpassing that of Bakugo, surprisingly. And let's just say the Ashen Blonde didn't take that so well, and literally was about to threaten him. However, remembering what happened to when he basically countered Eldoa though, and basically backed up. With then, soon, Izuku continued his training even more. Hell, even having that of sparring sessions with that of Mont, Stern, Eldoa, and even Jing as well. When fighting against Mont, he began to use that of a katana, but however, instead of fighting into the traditional samurai class fighting style, and he fights more like that of a paladin. You would think fighting in that of a stance mainly used for that of heavier or mid-heavy swords. Instead, it actually works quite well for somebody like Izuku. The sword is mainly used for that of defense instead of using that for offense or that of, well-placed strikes. Instead, he mainly uses the sword for defense while also using that of his shoulders, his fist, and even that of the back of the sword to deal damage instead. He only used the sword offensively when he needs to use one of his skills, to be honest, which he's starting to learn to develop his own techniques and abilities to fight back as well. However, they can only be used when necessary. When fighting against Stern, he begins to develop that of his lance, using that of a spear, actually using that of a lancer class. If he can improve even further being a lancer, then possibly he can improve even more and turn it and be able to develop as that of a dragoon. But that's what Vittori says, of course, from her words alone. With fighting against Stern, able to deflect, counter, and basically parry each and every one of great sword-wielding royal boy. With each of the techniques have even improved and actually impressed Stern quite a bit, seeing how much Izuku has grown. from just a few months ago when he first summoned him. Next up, his next sparring with that of Eldoa, with Eldoa basically pumping herself up, telling Izuku that even though he is her summoner and she won't kill him, she'll basically humiliate him and prove that somebody like him is truly not worthy of being her, summoner and king after all. Within Izuku feeling a lot more confident, even though internally he is a little bit nervous, telling her that he will prove, and today will be that day. With then soon Eldoa getting annoyed with them starting their sparring session, as Eldoa tries to deal that of heavy, powerful blows using her stone-like greatsword. As they're currently on the beach, every time when she tries to swing at Izuku, she creates that of gusts of winds and also shockwaves, even creating that of craters into the sand as well. As for Izuku, instead of just either using a katana or that of a spear, he's currently just using gauntlets actually. She decided to use that of Garvel's fighting style, focusing on dodging and also waiting for the perfect time to counter and strike back. Within Garvel seeing this, saying, he's improved. Even though I've basically beaten the shit out of him multiple times, he's actually developed and actually able to find and mimic my fighting style perfectly. The kid is gifted, truly. Within, Owen couldn't help but stroke his beard before saying, "Oh, I see. You are quite impressed, young man." Garvel getting annoyed at the old samurai swordsman before saying, "All I'm saying is that all that hard work I put him through is finally paying off. He still has a long way to go, especially since he still hasn't found a way to use magic yet. As far as I know, he'll never be able to become a true evoker." Before Garvel could finish, Vittoria speaks up, saying, "I wouldn't say that, little Garvel." With then getting annoyed at that words before he could say anything, she soon points towards the fight between Izuku and Eldoa. With then, as Eldoa was about to send that of a powerful downward slash, as it being her skill, being Bone Breaker, as slamming the massive sword down. However, for Izuku, he sees the perfect opportunity as he dodges out of the way. However, in the palm of his hand, it looks like that of a spell circle of the fire spell. With then soon, Garvel actually saw this, saying, "Wait, is he?" With then soon, with one solitary punch towards that of the sword, as Eldoa lets go of it, as it's sent flying up into the air. Before it then, in Izuku's left hand, as it being that of the spell circle for that of a wind spell known as Arrow, with then slamming the fist down into Eldoa's muscular stomach, being her abs. With then, Eldoa began to feel both the magic and the kinetic force lent by the punch as well, as she got as soon a gasp of pain and air coming out of her mouth, within being sent flying in a distance through that of the sand. With then soon, the others couldn't help but be shocked and surprised, seeing on what just happened, as then Izuku jumps up into the air almost like that of superhuman, like he has that of a quirk. However, it's not. It's mainly due to the superhuman training that he was basically put through for the past couple of months. With then, Eldoa stopped being flying as she soon rolls onto that of the sand. With then, seeing up into the air, she couldn't help but feel that of overwhelming dread, seeing the person that is her summoner basically come down on her on the full force, almost like that of a god about to pass judgment on that of a heathen. Within, Eldoa begins to have tears well up into her eyes, saying, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean what I said. I don't think you truly are worthy." With then, she's downright basically begging for Izuku not to hurt her. Within, the fist basically lands that of just an inches across her face before it even touched her. Within, as that of a small shockwave from Izuku stopping the fist. With soon, Izuku saying, "Sorry if I scared you, Eldoa." "I didn't thought I would." With then soon, Eldoa looking at Izuku, as a few minutes ago he was basically somebody that was almost close to basically crushing her skull in. Now he's basically a calm, timid, and caring person that's in front of her. Part of her basically begins to blush, seeing the greenette boy basically worried about her, just a lowly servant such as her, as she believes she is. Before then, the blushing basically faded, saying, "Well, whatever, does not matter." Eldoa was not worried one bit. Within her standing and then walking past Izuku feeling somewhat worried for Eldoa, before she goes back to blushing, thinking about Izuku's kindness and also the overwhelming strength that he had over her for a bit. With then soon, Gar was saying, "So, looks like your true self came back out. How did that feel, Eldoa?" Within Sue, she's saying, "Shut it, you damn renegade slave." Within Victoria basically speaking, saying, "Oh my, seems like our little Eldoa was blushing a little while ago. I know, I could see that little dusting of pink on that caramel skin of yours." With then, she's saying, "Shut it, you damn dragoon." As Eldoa began getting embarrassed, she soon on instinct, she turns into that of a crystal and shattering back into that of the ring of Leonis, mainly out of embarrassment. Within, he's saying, "What was all that about?" Within soon, Garble going over to the Greenette junior high student before placing a hand on his shoulder, saying, "Izuku, you've made me proud. Well done putting that Venice bitch in her place." With then Sue, Izuku saying, I wouldn't say it like that. I mean, she did try her best, and that's all I could ask for." With then Sue, Garble saying, "No, you did well. Those from Venice do not deserve respect and loyalty, or even any form of forgiveness. However, given that she's just nothing but a vision and a servant to somebody that she thought was weaker than her until a little while ago, just puts a smile on my face. So for that, thank you. So how about this? At least now that you seem like you got a good handle on magic now, I think you could finish your training with that of Queen Helena. And you already got my fighting style down pretty closely, so I got nothing else to teach you. So I'll catch you later." Within, after saying that, he also shatters back into that of a crystal before going back into the ring of Leonis as well. Within, Izuku saying, "What the heck was all that about?" With then Egbert saying, "Well, if you're done with sparring on that with them, maybe you should bring out the others, like that of Jing." Within saying, Master Egbert, are you sure that you only want me to spar with her so you could see me beat her too? Given that you did say she was a traitor to Horn." With then Egbert saying, "Of course. Well, I'm not as petty. As a knight, I cannot afford to be petty. I may hold it over her, but I believe you would be better to understand somebody like her who uses her fighting style into that of assassination. Even in this world of heroes, you say, there are people like that roam in the shadows. You need to be prepared, like fighting somebody like her, like a monk assassin such as her." With then Izuku hearing this saying, "I understand." After hearing this, saying, "Good, then bring her out." Within, Izuku bring out Jing as well, as he began to spar with that of Jing, the horned soldier now turned spy for the Satalan Church. Another month has now gone by, with Izuku now getting a lot more stronger. Hell, ever since the sparring and training and body enhancements, he's actually become a lot more stronger, bulkier, and bigger. Originally, he was that of, 5'2". Now, currently, he's that of 5'5". His current cannon height, with that of a lot more muscle on him too. Also, through his training, he was able to finally get a handle of magic now. Turns out he has had access to 3 types of magic. For the first type of magic is fire magic, the second is wind, and the third is lightning, aka thunder. Helena also explained that Izuku's is bottomless when it comes to magic as well. So he isn't just restricted to those 3, he just needs to find a way to access the other types of magic as well. It could be due to him being that of originally from this world instead, and also could be due to his quirkless status as well. Also, thanks to the training as well, he was even able to access that of multiple classes, able to master that of the Paladin and Samurai class, the Invoker class, alongside that of the Soldier class, and the Lancer class too. Even that of Black Mage, alongside that of Red Mage as well. But little did any of them know, Izuku already had a class already set out for him. A class that will allow him to master all forms of class as a whole, otherwise known as Heroic Savior class. All Izuku needs is time. Time to prepare and time to adjust for such a class after all. And with Izuku's body now fully acclimated to that of the ring, his new magic power, and his new superhuman strength and abilities too, it was now time for him to summon some new visions. With Mont, Stern, Queen Helena, Eldoa, and also surprisingly even that of Garvel also came to see. With then soon Helena saying, "Now Izuku, concentrate to the ring. Focus your thoughts, your wants, your desires. The ring will act on it, and you'll be able to summon those who you need the most. Just like you were able to summon us to teach you and train you on how to develop your own magical abilities and your style of fighting as well, even your body too." With Izuku, with his eyes closed, concentrating, saying, "Yes, Helena Sensei." With then Mont saying, "It looks like he's calling Mother Sensei." With then Stern saying, "Big brother, are you really this childish?" Saying, "Well, can you blame me? It's just weird hearing somebody call, our mother a teacher." With then Helena saying, "I'm sorry, Mont. Did you say something, my dear son?" Saying, "No, mother." "I see." With then turning back around, trying to advise Izuku once again. With then Mont couldn't help but sigh in that of relief before being scolded by their mother again. With then his younger brother, Stern couldn't help but pat him on the back. With then Izuku began to feel the glow of the ring. With then the grimoire in his hands begins to glow as the pages of the book began to open up rapidly. With then multiple figures began to appear on each of the pages. With Izuku seeing them actually flowing, getting at least glimpses of them before the crystals began to erupt from that of the ring, as then they shatter, as instead of 4 or 5 lights like the others, instead it's only that of 4 lights, as Izuku was only able to summon 4 figures this time instead of the usual 5 visions, as one of them begins to take form, as they look like that of a somewhat muscular young woman that's even surprisingly just as or somewhat equally as muscular as Eldoa. However, she wears that of a black warrior armor corset, a puffy but reinforced red skirt, but only that goes down to that of her upper thighs though. Black arm guards with that of red leather. And also what truly stands out is her fiery red hair that's tied up into that of a giant massive ponytail that almost looks like that of a lioness. And what also stands out too is her light green eyes, The other is that of a young girl that looks like at least a couple years older than Izuku. She wears that of a sleeveless sweater with that of a short skirt battle waist with that of armored legging boots and also armored greaves as well, with that of fur on that of the edge of the arms. She also has that of blonde hair and also wearing that of a horned helmet that almost looks close to that of a bunny. She also has that of a stoic look, which shines even brighter with that of her pinkish eyes. The third figure is that of a young girl, which looks like it almost close to the same age as Izuku. However, she seems a little bit more mature, as she's basically wearing that of reinforced shinobi gear. With that, however, there are slits to that of both sides of her legs, showing that of her shinobi stockings, and with that of her black hair and that of a serious look that goes well with her purple eyes. And the last one is that of another young woman. However, she has that of flawless skin, wearing that of a white dress, red and black mini skirt, a red cape short jacket over her shoulders, and also wearing that of black armored greave boots as well. Even wearing that of black armored gloves, and her hair is also tied in that of two long pigtails with that of a baby blue pigment color. With that of her orange eyes, basically says that she's quite sleepy right now. With Izuku seeing each and every one of the four women, with basically him being quite embarrassed quite a bit, because this is the first time he's summoned all women at all. With then soon the one with the fiery hair, as she has that of a broadsword in her hands, before placing it on her shoulder, saying, "Hello there. The name is Lilith, and it seems that you are wearing my former prince's family ring. If the ring of Leonis has trusted you, then I, Lilith, a loyal soldier of Leonis, will also serve you as well." Within, the blonde-haired young woman also begins to speak as well, saying, "My name is Renata. Just as that of Lilith, I am also a soldier of Leonis, a lancer, one who sees the stars and the flow of nature as well. I am also part of Prince Mont's Sauterless squad as well. As one who has given her life to that of Leonis, I will serve you as well if you have our nation's ring as well." As she places her spear right beside her. Soon, the somewhat little girl, or rather, the girl that's somewhat the same age as Izuku, as she also speaks, saying, "My name's Kitone. I am a servant and loyal shinobi of Leonis as well. I have given my life for my nation and for the royal family as well. If you bear our ring too, that means you are worthy of my protection as well, not just as that of a vision, but also as one who serves Leonis." As she kneels down to Izuku. Within, the last girl, which is the one that makes Izuku blush the most, to be honest, as she soon just yawns before speaking her name, saying, My name is Elsarel. I'm also a soldier of Leonis as well. I'm pretty good with a sword, I won't lie, but I'm really tired and sleepy. So if you're going to use me as a vision, use me sparingly, please." Before, after saying that, as she takes one big yawn before looking at Izuku, saying, "Cute bunny." Before basically just passing out on that of the sand and using her massive music note-like sword as a pillow. With then soon, Izuku completely, absolutely red, saying, "She called me a bunny?" As the three ladies that were summoned couldn't help but sigh, seeing El Sorel basically still the same as always. Before then, noticing not just Izuku, but also Mont, Stern, and Helena. Within, soon, they all say, Prince Mont, Prince Stern, Queen Helena, with all of them soon going to the three Leonis royalty before kneeling down to them. With Helena couldn't help but smile, seeing her three subjects. Within, Mont couldn't help but say, "Lilith, Riona, Ketone, I'm so glad to see the three of you again. Didn't think that we could ever see you all." With then soon Stern saying, "Agreed. I would love to see if the others were here as well, but I can't force that, to be honest." With then soon Riona speaking, saying, "I did not see this into that of the stars, but it seems that our reunion was fated, your highnesses. Knowing that the royal family even still lives on as that of visions is all that I need to know as well." With then soon looking at that of Izuku, even Ketone also doing the exact same thing as well. Within Izuku nervous, with soon all three ladies basically go up to Izuku and begin to group hug him. Within Izuku completely blushing, having that of three women hug him entirely. Within soon Lilith saying, "Thank you." "Izuku, is it? Thank you so much for making sure that the royal family of Leonis still lives on to this day. Thank you for bearing the ring of Leonis." Within Rona saying, "Indeed, I feel the exact same way as well. I am in your debt. I will serve you to the very end, just as I did the royal family." With Ketone not still hugging before, she quietly said to Izuku, saying, "Thank you." With Izuku completely caught off guard with all of the with so much of appreciation, he couldn't help but be happy that somebody appreciates him, as he's always been looked down upon. Hearing these, three attracted ladies thank him for basically something that he didn't have control over, or something that he didn't even know that he did right, basically warms his heart. As the other visions who see this couldn't help but, be quite amused. Mainly Mont and Stern, though. Elbert couldn't help but smile at the touching situation, even for somebody as honorable and knightly as him. As for Aldoa, part of her basically feeling quite annoyed knowing that there are so many visions that basically hail from Leonis. However, what really pisses her off is the fact that all those girls are being close to Izuku, which really, really pisses her off. But now that Izuku has more vision summons by his side, he can now grow even stronger and grow even more than what expected. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. So, how did you guys like this part? This was just another training part and for Izuku to develop his abilities. Of course, Izuku is talented. We all know that's the truth. He was literally able to understand One for All over that of just 2 months after all. So of course, learning and developing a fighting style from basically another realm of existence and another dimension entirely it's not going to be that easy, but it's just going to be that of a difficult chore. So of course it would take him at least possibly that of 5 to 6 months to get a better hang of being able to use magic, swords, weapons, and other things, after all. As for his physical training, on the other hand, we've seen Final Fantasy characters. They have done the craziest shit even without being considered that of superhuman, which is basically normal for them, to be honest. So, honestly, yeah, it only makes sense that Izuku would develop way much more faster because of their supposed over-the-top training as they may say. So of course, Izuku is currently at his current height, and right now he's not done growing. Trust me. Not only that, also, I can tell if you guys are wondering, is Izuku going to be shipped with somebody in this what if? Well, it's pretty easy, simple to be known who he's shipped with, but it's not really going to be any relationships, that's all. But I digress. That's not important. What really is important is please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification and keep it to date my videos when I upload on the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, my gaming channel, my side channel, my Patreon, and my Cash App. All linked in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Yamuki, signing out. Later, guys, and I hope you all take care. Shiro Kitsune, my lovely lady, you know what to do.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!